A very good day to you. Thank you for joining us on Behind Me again. And you are watching the Business Icon, where we share with you people with their incredible stories of their entrepreneurship, their business journey, and the challenges. So let's see what we can learn from today. And it's my privilege to introduce you to another multi-million-dollar business owner in Australia. So he has gone into Australia as a migrant, and he's now an owner of so many companies. So let's get the story out of him with that introduction. Thank you, Mr. Shan Pasupathi, for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thank you.
Mr. Shan, so to get into the conversation, I think our viewers would like to know how you came into this position. You are the owner of and founder of Premier Group, which consists of a lot of groups in it, and you're doing business in Australia.
Yep.
And you're a Sri Lankan born migrant into Australia, and you came in as a scholar and a student. So tell us how you initially started.
So my journey started, I started the business at my age of 23 as a videography business in north part of Sri Lanka. I just work as a civil servant and Sri Lankan Administrative Service almost 6 years as a Land Commissioner North and East and Director for National Budget, the General Treasury, then moved into Australia. So as I indicated, my age of 23, I started the business. Right. So it's a small videography business, but that's grown into that in my country. It's a different, started computer institute we run in Jaffna and Kandy and Aurelia and Trinco. Then I moved into Australia, and when I finished my studies, I work as a senior lecturer with that vocational training sector in Government of South Australia for over 12 years as a senior lecturer, and same time I work as a teaching associate with the University of Adelaide. So then that during that my academic life, again I started a business with in Australia as a taxation services. That's the way my business journey starts. Yep.
That is a lot of things that you have started off with. Like back in Sri Lanka also, you have done a lot of things, and now in Australia also doing multiple things. So can you tell me, are you now considering yourself successful in life? In your words, what is success to you, or do you have a long way?
That's a very good question. So I always talking about this successful in my class or in some of the business forums as well. So as I said, currently in the Premier Group, almost 12 companies. We have multi-businesses, taxation, business consultancy, HKR, disability services, mortgage broker services, real property developments and construction and etc. Almost, I think 12 companies we have holding now. But still I am working on what is the success. Most of the people thinking success is the end result. Right? We study hard, if we pass, we success. We're putting a lot of effort on our business, we got good profit, it's success. But I not believe that's a success. I believe success is not the end results. The success is about that how you believe yourself, how you believe on your goal, and how you put in your all efforts and intentions and everything towards that effort, then you are already success. You are not going to fail any day. So that's in my definition of success is you believe something you will achieve. You put your full effort to achieve something you achieved. The fail is that because why I am saying end result is not success. So we put that all the efforts and everything. We may be failed because so many other variables in that part of the end results. For example, you are studying for university. You did well, everything, but exam day you got sick.
Yes.
So you failed not because of you not failed, you are success. For example, we are doing the business in Canada. Straight away, a new tax system come up 25%. You are not control of that. But we cannot say we fail in the business. So we success means we believe on that ourselves, we believe on our goal. And if you put in our effort and energy, you all be success.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like you can't pinpoint and say, okay, yes, I am successful now. But will you ever come to a point where you feel like, okay, I'm done, I have come to the end goal which I have always wanted to come? And what do you think are the roles of a successful employee?
Number of companies as a finance consultant and etc. I'm an employee as well, some of the bigger companies. So most of us employee mean we feel that we're working for a business or we're working for an employer. It's not a question. Really, employer give me a chance for me to develop my skills and knowledge and experience, right? So this employees always thinks I am working for employer, I'm working for others, working for this task. Then you will be employee in the rest of the whole life. And half of the employees start whining and crying about that system and process in that business and owners and etc. etc. It's no end, right? If you're not happy with the business, if you're not happy with the system and process, leave out, right? And the same thing, other side of that coin, most of these employees worry about their promotions and job security and etc. etc. right? But in my whole 30 years of my employment, I always think, hey, if I add the value, in my employer cannot take out from that equation, right? He cannot take out from the business because I am part of the business. So every employee, if they believe, they don't need to worry about the promotion or job security because employer cannot run himself. He won't rely on us. So I think that good employees should believe I not work for this employer. I am working for myself. To use that employer, give me opportunity to grow myself with the skills and knowledge and etc.
All right. So now, in your journey, Mr. Shan, you started off your business in Australia and you were doing business in Sri Lanka also. Now, when there is a person who's inspired to start their own business, they would want to figure out their optimal location first when starting a business, right? Whether
Yep.
it's a different country or it's a different city or whatever.
Yep.
So you decided to do business in Australia. Was there a specific reason why you chose it? And how did you start your first initial business in a new country?
Excellent. That's a very good question. So the business, in my understanding, two definitions for the business ownership of the business. I can say some South Asian countries' cultural experience. Say I own the business, and when you look into the Western side, they more entrepreneur skills. They not worry about I own the business or not, but I am getting that money back. That's the way they're thinking, right? The two different things. No matter which country you do the business, right? But you should have one good skills, which is called entrepreneur skills. Entrepreneurship you should have. Most of we think that we should have money to do the business. Not necessary. Half of the people think I should have money to start a business. That's I said that the South Asian culture, right? Because we always think we want to own the business. Because most of the people think the business is the last resort if I fail in exam. That's the Asian culture, in our social culture. But if you come up and look into Japan, China, US, Britain, and Canada, they think that's the first one. So if you have entrepreneur skills, you are the best job, right? But if in our culture we think he should be a doctor, he should be an engineer, he should be a teacher or lecturer, etc., etc. So come back to your question, where you want to start the business is not a question. You should believe I can do this business, right? So whatever restriction you have, you want to work around with your entrepreneur skills, not about the business ownership. We cannot own the business any day because we all are economic refugees moving to one part of the world to other world, right? To better life, better money, better etc. So we don't have enough millions of dollars in the hand when we move into here. So we cannot own the business immediately, a multi-million-dollar business. So you should have some sort of entrepreneur skills to start the business and commence that. So I'll come back to the question, why you start in that business in Australia? No matter where you are, right? Some reason I was settled in Australia, I used that's opportunity to create the business. Now we'll come back to the question. That's why I'm coming. Where you are is not the question. I'm successful in Sri Lanka, I'm successful here as well. So the reason is, you want to create a product wherever you are to resolve some problem for the people, rather than thinking about that I want to have this product, you buy it from me. It's not that. So you want to think something creative, what is this community, what they need, how I can sell it, create a product first.
Right.
Then your product can be sold wherever you want.
Finding that gap in the market.
That's right, exactly, you're right.
Okay. Something that you mentioned was entrepreneurial skills.
Yeah.
And entrepreneurship. Now, you would have had so much of experience working with other businessmen also. In your words, in your terms, what do you think entrepreneurship is? Would you consider it as leadership as well? And these skills that you're talking about, what are these skills?
So entrepreneur skills, it's not just restricted to one. First, if I am putting as a migrant perspective, you should come out from that thinking of, I don't need to own the business. That will be a first barrier for start a business, right? I don't want to own the business, but I want to get more and more income from this, my thinking, right? So it means you should believe yourself. That's one of the entrepreneur skills. Second, you should create a product, as I previously said, resolve the problem, right? Everybody do the cleaning, everybody do the security, everybody do the businesses, right? But if you look into that, I just visited a couple of days before, my close friend of mine working in Silicon Valley, so he take it to that Google, Facebook, Twitter, as well as Microsoft. So I went to that actually in the buildings and I look into that, what is their business model, how they started. Couldn't believe they started that. The HP started in a garage, and Apple started in a garage, right? He have no house, in a little garage. He started. Now Apple is all over the world, right? So what I'm trying to do, he believed on himself. He create the product for the world. So if you create the product the world, you don't need to, right? Third one of the other things, funding options. Anyhow, the business needs money. But I don't have money. So we want to work it out. What are the funding options? In this world, in my understanding, enough money around the world if you have right idea, right? So you want to connect with your idea with the private funder or the bank or lending agencies, and etc., etc. So this entrepreneur skills mean you should have yourself, you believe, you want to create a product, you get a good communication to compromise the shareholders or convince the shareholders. You are working with the suppliers and customers and banks and regulatory agencies and then etc., investors. You should go and present themselves, hey, this is a product, I can sell it. You put your money, you will get this much return of investment. That's kind of entrepreneur skills. You should have that skills to start a business. Then, as you said, one of the other things, you have leadership skills, because you should lead all of the resources towards that one goal. So that's called leadership skills, as you said. So we can list up so many things, but this is a summary of entrepreneurship skills.
All right. Something that you mentioned was, gaining the interest of stakeholders or shareholders.
Yep.
You need to gain their trust.
Yep.
Now, as a migrant, you shifted to Australia. As a Sri Lankan, you don't have your community people there. It's
Yep.
a multi-community environment. So is Canada. Something that, Canadians here or migrants here, when they think of starting a business, they might feel, I don't have any support. I don't have these references. This is one of the main things that people rely on in gaining trust.
Yeah.
So did you ever face that challenge?
Excellent. So everybody talking about, I want to get a business work, I want to have experience, local experience. If I want to do the business, I want to have some contacts, and that we not start anything. We're not getting the job as well.
Yeah.
But simply people get the cleaner job. Simply people get the security job. Why they can't get that other job? So we are not cleaner in Sri Lanka, we are not cleaner in India, we are not cleaner in another country, but we are getting the job immediately, right?
Yes.
But we couldn't go and get it a job in that other places. But where's this experience go? When we go to factory, we work previously? No. We not work previously, but they're giving the job in the factory. We not work in the cleaning industry, we never use that any of this one, but they are giving that cleaning work next day. But where's this experience goes in that time? So you want to understand what that other person needs from you first, right? We cannot come up with that some skills, there are three components of that real world: skills, experience, and your knowledge. You have only missing one component of called experience. But really, for example, cleaner, you have skills and knowledge. You don't need to this experience. So you want to prove that other person, hey, I can do this one, right? In my office, sometimes I recruit the people without any experience. I give them, okay, I will give you a couple of days, come and do that. They come and talk with me, hey, give me a 1 day for me. Then if I fail, you send me, I don't want anything from you, right? How many of us go and talk that guts? Because we really, most of the people coming to, I'm sitting last 10, 12 years in interview boards. Honestly, I am say rejecting our own people because I feel that this person cannot perform the job. If you have that skill, it's not about the experience. You should compromise that your employer. You should compromise your interviewer saying that, hey, give me a chance. I am the super candidate too. Without that skills, you cannot read that. So first you want to build your skills. If you build the skills, you have an open soul, right? I can tell you, I just coming to Australia and start to study. I thought, okay, I want to be an academic. I want to be a lecturer in this uni. I never work as an academic in Sri Lanka. But I come back, I thought, okay, I want to be a lecturer in this university. Honestly, you check with them, day I finish my research, next day I am in the class as a lecturer, right? So what I'm saying, you want to build that skills first to break the gap, as you said. The gap is that people say, oh, I don't have experience, that's why I'm not taking me. Because I don't have skills, honestly, perform that job. Same as what I said to you a couple of minutes, how you perform as an interviewer, which is that skills you have. It's not with that experience only. Yeah, I think the breaking the gap is as I said, there are 3 components in the real world: knowledge, skills, and experience. These 2 can be built easily, skills and knowledge. But you don't need to much worry about the experience if these 2 have. Then, right. So, for example, I'm working in one of the 10th largest company in Australia as a senior finance controller. Anybody not believe how this Asian jump into that site? But I'm not work as a financial controller before that because they believe that your skills and knowledge. Excellent.
What are the other challenges now? References and connections from the other people is just one, where you need to convince your stakeholders. Yep. What are the other challenges that you faced in your journey and something that our viewers?
Excellent. To be honest, I'm not taking this one as a challenge, but I saw that some of the migrant community businesses, how they're struggling for this. As I indicated, the first challenge they have is their social pressure. They think in the business is one of the last resort for people failing in their other part of the thing. So they always think, I'm doing something very lower level things, right? Because they feel that the doctors and engineers are top of that. So that cultural stuff should be shifted out from their mind. That's one of the biggest challenge because they don't want to go and say, I am running a cleaning company. I'm running a photography business. They don't want to say because they feel that this is something not good. So that cultural thing should go out from you and say, hey, I'm doing one of the best things here. That's number 1. Number 2, as I said, the finance is one of the key things. Other than finance, the time is the key things, and especially when you move as a migrant, some of the family moving with you all depend on one breadwinner, right? I'm working as a cleaner or working as a one job, and I'm looking after my family and bread and butter and all the stuff. How I am going to come out from that to the business, if maybe a loss or gain, I'm not sure. If I lost the job, what happened? This is the biggest challenge for most of the migrants who cannot start the business. They always think big. You think very simpler. Start very small. All right, I will work, but you have 8 hours only you work. Other 16 hours you have. So start to think about that in 16 hours. Okay, what I can do, simple things, start my business. Then that creative thinking will end up with one day as a big business. I work as a lecturer while doing my business. So if I leave it out my lecturer job, I will be in trouble with the 2 kids and wife, right? So we want to work it out not too big, very smaller side we want to start. Second challenge for the migrant, always they they come up with that one set of mindset. Always I can win in the business if I put the less price, right? So I will charge the less cleaning charge or less security pay. I'm a winner of the business. Or that putting myself down. In Western world, that not work. It's work negatively. The price is only a 30 to 40% of selection criteria. Rest of the criteria, they will believe this guy have a really a reliable person to do our job, right? You prove that one first. How we can prove? One of the things you want to make network, right? We always with our community. We are not going out. We are afraid to talk with the people sometimes.
Sticking to the comfort zone.
Comfort zone, right? Just go out and start to talk with them, and then you will be have a good understanding about the other culture, how they work.
Okay, Mr. Shan, now you spoke about some of the major challenges that anybody would face in a startup or in the initial stages. Now, once that stage is over, once you set up the business and the first stage is over, you're thinking about diversifying or growing your business. So considering your company, Premier Group, it consists of loan services, taxation services, medical practices, migration, disability services. There's not one company which is in one industry. There are so many companies in different industries. What is your advice on that, on growth and diversifying? Do you think like being the jack of all trades is okay, but specializing in one is good? What's your intake on that?
Excellent. I'm a big believer of business should run itself. We should not run the business, right? So what's the meaning that if we set up a business, the business itself should run. So you should write the correct system and process, correct the business plan, correct good internal control system, and allocate the right resources, and etc. etc. So you start the business, put your kick start, and when it start, then business should grow with that itself, not you should put yourself. So you have now energy to put it different places. The world with the business opportunity, right? The world have so much of problems. Every day people have a problem. If you come up with a product or service to resolve the problem, that's one of the service, one of the business. So when the business profit will be two things, risk versus return, right? So if you grow in a one business, then you are able to take a little bit more higher risk to get the higher return. That's called investment portfolio. So the first part of your question, how you grow the business, as I said, you kickstart, start the business, then you will put all the system what I said to that business to grow. And that time we will do a number of things. We amalgamating the same kind of competitors with us, or we buying that same kind of business and make it you as a more monopoly in the area, right? Mm-hmm. For example, during that my initial stage, I bought it around 6 different small tax businesses in Adelaide, right? So I take it as a one group. So that small pockets is come to their charge previously very less fees. Now it's a one umbrella, we charging more. So that's called amalgamation or takeover, small pockets around you, right? It's one of the strategy. Second, business should grow itself, that's fine. So when we come back to diversifying the business, so you start the business, you grow, and I have enough time to think about the different. When we come back to that investment portfolio, risk versus return, so you selecting the different industry, select the different product. You don't go and do it same thing again, other medical practice do, other aged care do, other disability service do, other loan agents do. I heard that when I talked with some of my uni friends in Canada that couple of weeks before, they said that so many people here running as a real estate agents, all right? And I asked that what's the difference between A and B? It's almost we do the same thing. So where is in your uniqueness? Where's your competitiveness? It's nothing, right? You are no monopoly. So what I'm trying to come and say, you diversifying your business with some uniqueness. You want to create a monopoly, your product is special. People say, how I can create, for example, cleaning services, what I can do differently. Right, you can do, right? That's you want to think about that. Then only you will get it. So when we come to diversifying, so we have already set up the business, we have enough financials. So then that profit come up from that go to the different level of risks, different kind of risk to get the different level of returns. So in the simple way of say that investment portfolio, you are diversifying.
Mr. Shan, well, there's a lot of things that we can learn from you, but there's a limited time in this show also that we can dedicate our time into this. But honestly, there's a lot that we can learn from you. I think we should probably start a series or something, entrepreneurship or the challenges that we faced. Coming to my last question. Now, as a businessman, you have 12 companies under this group. You are doing a lot of work, meeting new people, doing business. You're having a family also. You have your own personal life.
Yeah.
Do you have work-life balance? Do you have time for your family? Do you have time for yourself? Or do you burn out also sometimes, like overworking?
That's, that most of the places people ask these questions, how would you work-life balance, right? If you see what's the work-life balance people talking, you can put into 4 categories. One, you want to work productively to spend some time with friend and family. Or they will say you want to have enough time for sleep and eat. Or you don't want to worry yourself while you are out of the work. Or they will say you want to take care of your health. So these 4 different definitions will come up for the work-life balance, right? We are not an employee, we are entrepreneurs. In our thinking, every second is making money, right? So I am a believer of kickstart motorbike, not the self-start, right? We should put some energy to start that machine run, right? So when the machine run, how to operate, as I said, that machine should run itself. I should not run the business, but it will take some time. So in that time, you have no option. You should put it in your energy on that. Now we'll come back to question, where is this balance? Actually, what is that balance, right? It is a subjective, right? It's individual things. How your family work, how your friends work, how your healthiest you are, what is your other commitments, what is your other happiness, etc., etc. Right? I think I balance well because what I happy, I do it. My family is happy, myself happy, my friends happy, so I'm balanced. But I work a lot than other people, right? So it's not a right rule for individuals. I can tell you a very good example. I signed an agreement with one of the $4 billion the timber flooring company in China. So owner is a good friend of Chinese president, right? So I had a chance with him to have a lunch. I just asked one question, hey, what's your holiday? Is that my holiday is working, right? So the whole family working for that company. That father is a carpenter, say building a massive empire. I can say, you can see Chinese president visit him, that type of company. But the whole family enjoying that part of their entrepreneurship, their business. That's their work-life balance. So that's mean it's an individual case. It's not like we can say, oh, he's not balancing, I'm not balancing, right? So it's not. It's about that each individual, each family, each friends, how you set up yourself to make it yourself, balance yourself.
So basically, it has become your lifestyle.
That's right.
With your family.
That's right. That's right.
All right, Mrs. Han, thank you so much for giving your insights on this. Probably we'll meet again soon. You're flying back to Australia, but thank you so much for giving us the opportunity
Thank you, Sonali.
to have this discussion.
We had a good time. Thank you.
And that was our episode on Business Icon. Thank you for watching. See you again on the next episode where we'll bring you another entrepreneur who will be sharing their inspiring stories. If you like this, please show some love to Behind Me by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Have a great day.